Hello and welcome to the Comboless podcast. We are episode 15. My name is Chris.
And I'm Luke.
Hello Luke, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Nice,
Hello, Chris.
nice.
How are you feeling?
I'm okay.
Living up to expectations?
Just below probably.
Just below. That's like the safe zone, isn't it?
The safe zone.
Anything like average or above, you're noticeable.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta stay under the radar, man. What have you been up to? You've been playing some Tekken? What have you been
I played
doing?
a bit of Tekken. Played with my new random.
Yeah?
Yeah. I can't pronounce his last name, actually, the more I think about it.
Who was your random again?
Lee Chaolin.
Oh, yeah. Chaolin?
Yeah, Lee. Let's just call him Lee.
Let's go with Lee.
Yeah.
What do you think of Lee? How much have you played with him?
He's fast, he's quick, he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Got no power, that's the problem.
Infinite combos.
Infinite combos. When you've got to do an infinite combo to kill somebody, that is shocking. You got to punch him 25 times just to do damage.
Everything is very much time based. Did you get any of the time stuff down?
I got a couple of the timing bits down, actually. And something I like with one of his timings, I'm not sure if it's all of them, is that if you're in heat and you time the kicks, it'll restore your heat.
Oh, really?
So you can keep your heat going if you can effectively land them, I think.
Ah, interesting.
So, but then you got to time them right, then land them. So it's hard.
Yeah.
But that can be
hard. He's really hard.
The downside is, if you don't time it right, it'll do the special combo automatically, and you'll lose heat.
Oh, I see.
So there is an offset to it, but it's.
So when you see someone perfectly time it and they gain heat, all you can be is impressed.
Yeah. That's probably why I never really see Lee online.
Yeah, he's a tough character to play with. I enjoyed him because of how fast he is and stuff, but yeah, the timing stuff is so difficult.
He's fun, but the timing and lack of power lets him down, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. If you're there fighting someone and I'm like, if you pull a combo off, for some reason I don't feel like I do much damage, and then I fight King or Jin, and I feel like they've killed me in 3 hits almost. That's how it feels. So I don't know if it's just a really bad experience I've had with Lee, but I thought I was doing
sucking,
alright.
that is.
I think it might be. So I've played a bit with him.
Nice.
Like I say, he's been okay.
Have you played since the update at all then?
No, I haven't played since the update.
Because the update has come in, and the people who own the super special edition of Tekken can now play as Clive.
Yes, but let's talk about your random first.
My random, okay.
Let's hear the brand new exclusive character of Mr. Chris.
Well, I got Panda.
Oh, it's almost like you've had a similar experience
which,
already.
Obviously, I've had Kuma previously. I don't think I should have put Panda in the pot, but
realise that after pulling Panda.
Yeah, we're here now. So I loaded up Panda, started learning all the things again, a few bits and pieces. I've learned a bit more than what I did before.
It's not a good sign. So
I do have another combo up my sleeve. Whether or not I'll be able to pull it off is another question because it's quite hard. I loaded Panda up, tried to play some, and all I got to play against was Clive. So
Clive, you got to say it properly though. It's Clive Rosfield. Those trills in those R's are damn good.
It was a glorious introduction to the character, wasn't it? The stage looks incredible. I love the stage.
It does look incredible.
It looks awesome. Like when you get hit up against the wall and stuff, and the Aeons get
the Phoenix comes down,
destroy you and shit. It's fucking sick as hell.
It's a cool stage. I really like it.
Yeah.
I suppose let's dive into the big question, Clive.
Clive.
Well, I'd like to say first off, we've had several discussions about who we think the fourth character is going to be. We came to the conclusion that we didn't think it was going to be a Tekken character as such, and we called it. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. Definitely didn't call who it was.
Well, I was close. I think closer than you were, anyway.
Well, who was your?
I was saying Tifa, so a Final Fantasy character.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I never suspected it would be Clive.
I didn't think it was going to be Clive. It somewhat makes sense, but
does it?
I mean, it's their newest Final Fantasy, and
technically no, but technically it's the latest one.
But it's the latest one. I think it somewhat makes sense.
So I think I should start by saying I really enjoyed Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah,
I think Clive,
I was enjoying it.
Yeah,
I haven't gone back to it because it was on PlayStation.
You
It's on PC now though. I need to pick it up on PC and maybe I'll play through it.
It's
maybe I'll play through it over Christmas.
really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Really good. And Clive is a good character, I think.
Yeah.
I really like his voice actor.
Yeah.
I think he's done a really good job with him.
Mm-hmm.
Him in a fighting game, though. Let me tell you what the biggest gripe for me is. First of all, let's go right back.
Oh, God, here we
So
go.
they do this with the new characters, don't they? They put him on the front of the screen.
Yeah.
When you see Clive turn up, you're like, that's Final Fantasy 16, and then Tekken 8. And I'm like, for some reason, it doesn't quite work.
No?
I mean, it looks cool. It
sick.
does look cool. But I'm like, it's like a weird mix. It's like you're using someone else's hard work almost to promote
I mean,
your
that's
game.
what a guest character is, though.
Yeah, I guess, but it's just a bit.
What I
different,
didn't
but
even
yeah.
realise is that guest characters are worked on by the devs of that like guest IP.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
realise that was a thing. I thought it was just like the Tekken devs asked to use a character and then they would just create it.
No, I think it's good that they do that.
Yeah, so it's
Because
awesome.
it
So they
makes
were they were pulling in like they were designing the customizations
Yeah.
and stuff and what to pull in and like how they look, what they say and everything like that. It's like, oh, that's pretty sick actually.
It makes the character more authentic. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, definitely.
Like as he was in their original game.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, I was playing Panda. I loaded it up to try and get some practice in, and all I played against was Clive. So I thought it was amazing how fast I went from damn, Clive's awesome. He
So
looks
I'm
really cool
bored,
in the
yeah.
game to I fucking hate seeing Clive and I don't want to see him again.
I think we had a similar issue with Hitachi, didn't we?
Yeah.
As soon as the new character comes out, that's all anyone's playing.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're just a bit like
literally everyone was just learning him, I guess.
Yeah. But I would probably get him.
Yeah, he does look sick. There's a lot of moves that he does which seem bullshitty on a face level. I guess you can just get used to them or whatever. But I feel like his power crush, no matter what I did, I also.
You have a gripe too.
I know. Well, I was playing against Clive with Panda, so it's like I'm
It's
playing
like-
this really fucking slow character against like a super fast character. So I was just getting frustrated massively.
Did you get Panda far up the ranks?
I didn't put Panda in ranks at all.
Oh, just quick match.
Yeah, just playing on quick match. So yeah, it was a slightly frustrating to play. I ended up finding it okay because I was Panda, because no matter what was happening, I was a fucking bear. So
Yeah.
it just didn't matter. Like my rage levels were down on the all
Muted,
down low,
yeah.
you know. Yeah, so he's fast. He has a lot of things going on. Yeah. Everyone's playing him.
They are, yeah. I wonder how you feel about his moveset. So a lot of it is a variety, but the sword, I don't know why, the sword just feels out of place.
Well, it's another sword character.
Like-
It's another character that teleports.
Yeah.
It's another character that's ultra fast.
Yeah.
It's another character that has multiple stances and like all these teleporty bits and pieces. It was frustrating to try and learn him, especially because a lot of his moves are fucking huge. Like he hits you with one thing, and then you're like, "Oh, do I go low to defend on the next thing, or do I stay high?" But you can't fucking tell because like phoenix wings are flying and filling up the entire screen real estate. So it's like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I can't see anything. There's just fire everywhere.
The screen real estate
Yeah,
is being taken over.
80% of it is a fucking wing that's flying about, and I'm like, what am I defending against?
It is. It looks glorious, but I imagine it's frustrating.
Oh,
at the
dude,
same
like,
time.
yeah,
But
so I was getting very frustrated with it. Like, I'm sure I'll learn it over time, but, like, looking at it, first glance is like, what the fuck am I defending
He'll
against?
die out over time.
Yeah, I guess so. He seems, I thought he was going to be like a Noctis clone from 7.
Yes, sorry, I was thinking Final Fantasy 7. I was like,
No,
that's not Noctis.
Tekken 7. I thought he was going to be like Noctis, and it was going to be like a lazy sort of DLC person, but he's very different. He's very, very different.
We like Clive. I'm not first
Yeah,
time Noctis.
but it's like I was playing against a lot of people, and they clearly just didn't have a fucking clue what they were doing with him. It seems like he's got one of those like, just I'll mash this one button, and it just does an insane combo.
I think an interesting thing.
So I
as well-
saw the same thing like over and over and over again. So I just started doing the whole like fucking dancing as a bear in front of them and shit.
I wonder as well. So obviously people bought the DLC pass, the Ultimate Edition, I think it was.
Yeah.
Got the first 4 characters of season 1. Well, all the season 1 characters. So you get the first 3. You know, obviously they're not actually that bad. You know, Eddie, Lydia, and Heihachi they're okay characters.
Yeah.
Heihachi's a good character.
Yeah.
Then you get Clive.
Yeah.
That's a pretty a big character, I think, to get. I guess it's it could have just been like, well, we suspected it might be Anna at one point. I'd have been a bit disappointed if it was Anna. But
I still think Anna's coming out. It must be in the next, in the next pass or whatever. Then
I don't doubt she's coming out. But like, do you think that that's a good one to end on, Clive?
I thought it was a great addition.
I think it's a really good one.
Yeah, I thought it was a great addition.
I'm so mixed on him. The more I think about it, I'm like, but he uses a sword. That's like a Soul Calibur thing.
You haven't played him yet, so you can't even have a proper
opinion. I've watched
a
lot about him though. I've watched a lot of videos on him.
Yeah. Yeah, play against him, and then we'll come back next week and see what you think.
But I've seen a lot on him, and I can see why people.
He's definitely something else. But the main incredible thing I think that came out of this is the fucking stage is insane.
It's such a good idea.
It's such an awesome stage. I absolutely love it. Just like the summons like fighting in the background, and like the conversion to the other stage, like the flaming like arena thing is so good. It looks awesome.
It's a good stage choice.
Yeah, definitely.
Just need to buy it now.
Like I don't know when is it coming out for like us plebs.
I'm not going to comment because I don't know the top of my head.
I think it's like a 2-day early access or a 3-day early access. I think
he might be out tomorrow then.
Is it?
He came out yesterday or the day before, didn't
he? Yesterday.
So if it's the 2-day thing, it'll be tomorrow. I've not checked that though, so.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
But anyway, he looks cool.
He does look cool. Other news in this week. Last week was the Game Awards.
It was the Game Awards.
The Game Awards. A lot happened in the Game Awards. A lot was announced. A lot was released. A lot was talked about. I like watching the Game Awards. Like I liked watching E3. But every time I watch one of these things, I'm like, this is just fucking cringy and painful. But the Game Awards this year were actually pretty decent. Like I was quite surprised. There was some cringy moments, but then they had. The two like old guy, I can't remember what their name is. The two old guys from the Muppets. They were up in the stands and they were just like judging everyone, just be like, "This is ridiculous," blah, 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 and just like comment on everything. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I thought it was a great show. It's nice to have that go-to event for a games exclusive, you know.
Well, we talked about this before. I think that obviously the industry is getting big, and it's already bigger than film and is it film and music combined?
Yeah, massive.
So
it's nice to have that one go-to event where like all the big names are there, all of the indie people are there, and it's just like everyone's like coming together to have a look at this thing. And I thought it was great.
It's more inclusive as well because you go there and there's things to do as well rather than just watch. And see what happens.
Yeah.
But the surprise is not a lot more of them. There probably are more than we're aware of. But
these are like event
award,
things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there are a few.
But that was one of the big ones, obviously.
Yeah. I stayed up until like 4:30 on a weekday to watch this.
Still need to play the what was Game of the Year? It was Astrobot.
Astrobot, which is somewhat controversial. A lot of people think it was Sony Game of the Year and not Game of the Year.
So I've not played it. So
I've not played it, so I can't comment on it either. But I've just heard a lot of gripe about it. But congrats to them, I guess.
Congrats, but at the same time, I was a bit like, I thought it was like the VR, just what do they call it, mascot?
Oh yeah, you thought it was a VR game, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't realise it was a full-on platform. But it never really hit my radar for some reason.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's a family game essentially, isn't it?
And I'm for them as well. That's
I don't massively pay attention to a lot of the family games, but
they are fun to play. A lot of them.
Yeah, they are. They really are. But yeah, so that they won Game of the Year. For Game of the Year, my main man Sven came out.
Yeah,
he did a speech. I did send you a video on the speech. Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet.
I thought you wouldn't have. Fucking
It's
bastard.
been a week.
Anyway,
to say the least.
I've got his speech in front of me.
Okay.
And I just want to... I'll reiterate what he said, so I'll go through it, and then we can talk about what he said, because I feel like it's vitally important about what he said.
Okay.
And I'm so glad he stood up there on the stage like a glorious man that he is, in front of all of the big people of the gaming industry,
Right.
and then basically said this. The game of the year 2025 was I'll interject here slightly. I've cut it up into little bits and pieces, and he basically said, I know what game is going to win Game of the Year next year, and the year after, and the year after, because an oracle told me something. And then he goes, the Game of the Year 2025 was going to be made by a studio who found the formula to make it appear on stage. It's stupidly simple, but somehow it keeps getting lost. The studio made their game because they wanted to make a game that they wanted to play themselves. They created it because it hadn't been created before. They didn't make it to increase market share. They didn't make it to serve a brand. They didn't have to meet arbitrary sales targets or fear being laid off if they didn't meet those targets. Furthermore, the people in charge forbade them from cramming the game with anything whose only purpose was to increase revenue and didn't serve the game design. They didn't treat their developers like numbers on a spreadsheet, and they didn't treat their players as users to exploit. And they didn't make decisions they knew were short-sighted to function as a bonus or politics. They knew that if you put the game and the team first, the revenue will follow. They were driven by idealism and wanted players to have fun. And they realized that if the developers didn't have fun, then nobody was going to have fun. They understood the value of respect, that if they treated their developers and players well, those same developers and players would forgive them when things didn't go as planned. But above all, they cared about their game because they loved games. It's really that simple. And I was like, well done, Sven. Yeah. Fucking well done, dude. Like, everything he said, I was like, why the fuck are all these AAA companies all going down into the shitter? Like, we talked about Ubisoft previously. Yeah. We've talked about all these games which are releasing games where they clearly do not give a fuck about the game anymore.
Yeah.
They're just releasing all this bullshit DLC, microtransactions, decisions on game design to just make profit. Like, they're going for all these targets when the game is fucking shit. And it's like, Sven comes out, he released Divinity series, which I fucking love. Then he released Baldur's Gate 3, which is like next level fucking game. I know you haven't played it yet, but once you start playing it,
I've seen bits of it, but
comparing that game to what has been released recently is like fucking next level. And then he comes out and says this. It's just like, guys, it's fucking simple. You just make a game that is fun to play, that you want to play, and other players want to play, that we haven't seen before. And you're not looking for fucking targets. You're just making a fun game. And then the revenue will come in. It's like, it's so fucking obvious. How the fuck aren't any of you seeing it, you know? And I was like, dude, like, well done. Like, he held the stage there for like 5 minutes or something and just like literally said this to all the major players, like the market holders, all the revenue, everyone was all in that room, and he's just like, fuck you all.
What are the Aussies jobless now?
But like, he's in such a fantastic position now, because he obviously did Baldur's Gate, which is Wizard of the Coast. And a lot of people, I think we watched a video just now saying that when they tried to make a game with Wizard of the Coast, is that they were very controlling of their IP and they were difficult to work with. Baldur's Gate devs, Larian Studios, also said the same thing about Baldur's Gate. And now they've dropped Baldur's Gate. They did say that they were looking to make a DLC, but they've cancelled that now because it was awkward to work with them. So they've cancelled that and now are going back to make their own game. So they've made all this profit for Baldur's Gate, and then they've got full creative freedom on their next project. So it's like, it doesn't matter what they do next, like, people are going to fucking love it and want to play it. So it's like, he's in such a great position to make this comment. I thought it was absolutely fantastic and definitely worth celebrating. Amazing speech.
It was a
Amazing
good speech. Very good
speech.
speech. Do you think that...
Blown away, honestly.
So you've obviously mentioned Larry in the studio. Do you think Naughty Dog are perhaps in the same category?
See that? Yeah. Okay. This is the thing now. So Game Awards, obviously, Naughty Dog announced their new game.
Yeah.
And everyone's looking at it, and everyone's thinking the same thing. This looks a bit meh.
Yeah.
Like we don't know. Like it was just a like a cinematic reveal, so there was no gameplay or anything like that. So who knows what it'll be like? They've apparently said, I'm not 100% sure on this, but they've said that it's a sci-fi hack and slash, which is interesting.
It'll be different.
Be different for Naughty Dog, but I'm cautious about it. I love Naughty Dog. I've loved like all of the games that they've released previously. But I guess we'll see. Like the last few years, what have they done? They've remastered 2 games that didn't need a remaster.
Yeah,
they tried to make a multiplayer game in order to make Call of Duty profits, but failed and then cancelled it.
So something a comment I seen, which, and I can't comment on because I don't know enough about their team, was obviously they released that trailer. I'm not even like sure I'd call it a trailer. It's more a little movie, little clip.
Intergalactic.
Yeah, and everyone was saying, "Oh, it's the new Naughty Dog IP," and someone commented, going, "Yeah, it's Naughty Dog, but not the Naughty Dog that brought you these games."
Yeah,
and I'm sort of like, "Who's still there then?" And
I know, like
I don't know.
We just don't know these things anymore. Like, there's been so many layoffs. Like, whoever brought ideas to the table previously might not be there at all.
So I find it like hard because I can see the transition from Crash Bandicoot to Jak and Daxter, because that's their platformers.
Makes total sense.
Like one is just developing the other. Then it goes to Uncharted, and I'm a bit like,
Uncharted was a big leap. I still feel like it could be linked.
I was gonna say it's got platforming elements.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a leap in a different direction. And then The Last of Us.
The Last of Us was another leap more towards the story-related stuff rather than platforming.
Yes.
Which I thought... The Last of Us 1 is fucking incredible.
And
I
then,
absolutely love The Last of Us 1.
And then... Well, they did Uncharted 4, which was... I haven't actually finished.
Have you not?
No.
I thought it was good. It was definitely good. But it was definitely a lot of like those big, like bombastic movie cinematic moments and less of a game, you know?
I'll tell you why I didn't finish it. Is because I bought the game pre-owned.
Right.
I won't name where I got it from.
Right. Did it not work? Or?
It didn't work properly.
What? No way.
Yeah, and I was just like, Oh,
that's brutal.
Again, I'm not naming anyone, but the place is notorious for it, and I thought it's never happened to me before when I bought one, and I don't really get pre-owned. You don't really get them.
You can take it back.
Oh yeah, that would involve having the receipt, and I thought, no. Yeah.
Did you not have it?
No.
Well, whose fault is that?
It's mine, I guess. But it didn't work, and I got so far, and it was only like at the start, and it broke. Then I got a PS5, so that was like 2 years later. Got a PS5. I own the Uncharted collection.
And you've still not played it?
And I've still not played. I own the Lost Legacy as well, and I've not played that.
I've not played the Lost Legacy.
But again, so they did Uncharted 4, which was, by all accounts, from what I'm aware, really good. They then do The Last of Us 2, which was good, but controversial at the same time.
But I feel like that controversy was just unnecessary. It was controversial because they made you... It's going to be slight spoilers here. It was controversial because it made you play as a character that you dislike and as a character that you liked but doing bad things now.
Yeah.
So it was really controversial, but like it's the end of the fucking world. Like no one's gonna be goody good shoes, you know? Like it makes total sense.
And I think they brought a bit of like, I don't know what the word is, like there was a bit of politics involved in it.
Yeah.
With different themes and things like that. So and people didn't really like that for some reason.
People are just bitches about that though, really, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of the controversy that I saw came from. But I've again not played it.
It's really good. It's really, really good. I suggest you play it. Ignore what everyone has ever said about it. Just play it yourself.
I know who you play as, obviously Ellie, and I don't know the other girl's name. But the thing I really find hard is that you got Ellie, who's still a teenager, from what I'm aware.
No.
Oh, how old is she?
Yeah, I can't remember. She's not a teen anymore, though, I don't think.
But she's like fighting off full grown men, like huge men. I'm just like, she's hell of a girl for getting through that. And she does it day in, day out. I'm like, But even then, Joel's was a bit far-fetched, I thought, for that as well.
I mean, you're gonna get this far-fetched superhero character of a fucking video game, aren't you? So, like, it is what it is.
But yeah, I've not played that one.
Well worth playing. I think it's well worth playing. I
But
thought
I
it was a
do
little
think-
short for what it was.
I do think they plateaued.
Yeah.
Like it did Uncharted 4. Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
like,
They
it feels
definitely.
like the time between them plateaus it almost.
They-
So they're not bad games, but because you're waiting for so long then for something else, it's like you get here and then you just there.
What I find frustrating about them is that they've moved, like, just make a fucking movie. Like it's almost like they're removing the game aspect of their game every time they release a game. So they released obviously the Last of Us TV show, fucking fantastic, amazing TV show. But it's like, why are you concentrating on such a story element and just a story experience when you're making video games? You should concentrate on the game more.
Well,
I always thought that Uncharted was very lacking in gameplay. It was always like, you come into an arena, you fight 50 guys, and then you do some more story, and then you go into another arena and fight 50 guys again. It's like, okay, I'm a little bored of this.
The thing I like about that though is they make comments about it in the game, don't they?
Yeah.
Like Nate's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Nate's like, where are they all coming from?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so they're sort of making fun of themselves at that point. But like, again, they're going from what? Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, which were like next level fucking, this is where we want to take gameplay, you know? And then there was lots of gameplay ideas and lots of ideas that they were throwing about that you play. Whereas now, it feels like you're just watching a cinematic movie.
Well, something you said about The Last of Us, the first one.
Yeah.
Obviously, you mentioned that why not just make a movie or a series if that's the case. I read somewhere, and I don't know, this was a while ago now, that like they want to take you on a journey through, like, it's almost like Joel's recovery in a sense. So that the end of the world, if you've not played it, I guess I will be spoiling a little bit now. The virus, it's not a virus, is it? What is it? Fungus. Takes over, and like everything happens at the very start. He loses his daughter, and he's like broken. And then you see as the game progresses, after he's taking Ellie somewhere. He starts becoming close and like opening up to someone again. It's like that journey from he's lost everything to he's gaining something back slowly.
Again, what are these? They're story elements.
Yes, but it's the fact that you play him and you're playing him through that experience rather than watching him.
I get that, but I also just like, it's a fucking game. Make gameplay. What have they done that's unique gameplay in the last few games that they released? Fuck all is the answer.
Did they ever do anything unique?
Yeah, of course they did. Crash Bandicoot was next level platformer for the day. They were creating all these levels, these interesting platforming puzzles, all of these levels which are unique and interesting, these characters that are unique, these bosses that were unique and interesting. And then Jak and Daxter came along, and then they evolved the gameplay throughout every single Jak and Daxter. It was like a completely different game, every single one was.
So I'm not denying that they're good games, but you said, they like it's groundbreaking what they've done. And I sort of instantly think, well, Super Mario 64 came out around the same time. There must have been one for the Dreamcast because they were all there. So were they really at the forefront? They were part of like the big collection of the front runners, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they created compared to everyone else, but like in terms of bringing new ideas to the table, I think they came up with it.
And something that I'm checking as we talk is you mentioned Jak and Daxter came out in 2001. Daxter, sorry. I even typed in Dexter. 2001. When did Ratchet and Clank come out?
Oh, I don't know.
It came out 2002. So okay, maybe Jak and
Jak and Daxter is amazing.
Was ahead of it because I don't think it came out before Sly because they were like.
No, Sly was huge. Yeah,
Sly was after it though.
Really?
I'm pretty sure Sly. Is it Sly Cooper or Sly?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's a really good game. That's the first bit I've played it. I'm pretty sure it came out after. Yeah, 2002.
Okay.
So 2002, Ratchet and Clank. So Jak and Daxter
2001
came out before a year earlier.
And they're amazing games. Jak and Daxter is fucking awesome, and each one is so unique too.
I mean, one of them he gave a voice.
Jak 3 is almost like GTA. It's so different from what the first one was, but incredible games. But yeah, like I just find it frustrating that they've gone so hard into the story elements of their game and not coming up with gameplay stuff anymore. It's like, if you want to make a movie and make a TV show, then fucking do that. Don't make a game which is all story and such little gameplay.
I agree. As well,
Yeah.
I think it's almost like, so they've done the story element, you're right, and they are constantly trying to push the boundaries of graphical technology, which is impressive, don't get me wrong, and the work that goes in to get that result, it'll take hours to say the least.
What was it? Uncharted 1 was the water.
Yeah.
Uncharted 2 was the sand?
Sand was
snow.
the third one. Snow was the second
and then
one.
third was the sand.
But that's not... Well, that is kind of the point, I guess, but what I sort of see is, so they've done this trend of story graphic, almost like you're just watching, like you say, a film, a movie.
Yeah.
But they're trying to get it to look as realistic as possible. Mm-hmm. Games aren't just that for me.
Exactly.
If they turn around and said, we're going to make another... If they said, we're going to take back over a Crash Bandicoot, we're going to do another
and make
platform,
it ultra cartoony, I would still
be behind it.
100%.
And that's what I can appreciate with, I guess, Astrobot, when I looked it up, was that it's impressive.
Yeah.
It's not like graphically forerunning everyone, though, is it? It's not like ahead of everyone, but it's a
Still
fun
looks
game.
incredible.
It's what it is
and
on the tin.
It's all art direction rather than just trying to make realistic textures and things like that, right?
It's the game, isn't it? That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
So...
So I don't know, like this new game that they've announced, the hack and slash Intergalactic. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet is what the full title is.
Yeah, it's a hell of a mouthful.
So yeah, watching the trailer, I just thought it was a big, like, not really interested, and then I saw the Naughty Dog thing, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm interested, but still kind of not really.
So, a couple more points, and you're going to hate me for mentioning it, but I watched it, and the first thing I thought was, we've just had Starfield. They're doing a very similar thing by the look of it. Again, we've not seen gameplay, so we can't really say that, but I saw the spaceship and I thought, we're going for this again.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there was all the advertisement in the...
I mean...
that was incredible. I never once thought about having a spaceship that was made by Porsche for some reason. I tell you now, that was interesting. Because I thought they squeezed it in.
Like, what do you call that sort of genre where it's... what was the movie called? The sci-fi movie with the androids and stuff.
The androids?
The robots, and they were like thinking they were human and...
iRobot?
No.
That's all, I don't know why. You said robots, so like, oh, you must be iRobot.
No. Like the dark sci-fi. There's one that was in the 80s and the one that came out recently. Fuck, what's it called?
Yeah, that's going to bug me now.
It's gone from my mind.
But carry on, I can't think of the
You know what I'm on about, though?
Yeah.
Where it's got, like, Atari and things like that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's that genre where it's like, it's brought today's brands and then blasted them into the future and reimagined what they would be like. So I guess it's like, it comes with that genre.
It's almost like...
There's all these advertisements.
So when they do cars and things, they come up with concept cars.
Yeah.
It's almost like taking that into an extreme process. Is that a bad sign, though?
No, I don't think it's a bad sign. I can see why it would annoy someone if they're annoyed with seeing adverts all the time, because it is just adverts.
I say that because you get annoyed in Tekken when you see the Nike shoes.
I do. I do.
And that isn't even forced in your face that much. This one was right there, and you're just like, I can't not see that.
But again, it's a genre thing, right? Yeah. Or a theming thing.
But
like, you look at Tekken, I'm not expecting to see adverts of real life things. Whereas this game, I'm going to expect to see adverts.
Really?
Because it's that theme.
Have Naughty Dog done something like that before?
No, they've not.
So I revert to my last question.
No, just because they haven't done something like that before, it doesn't mean like they can't do it now. All I'm saying is that it's the theme of what they're going for. Yeah. You play in that game and you're expecting to see it.
I tell you what it reminds me of. Have you ever seen A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger?
Yeah.
When I can't think of the actor's name or the actress's name, but she makes his armor. She's like, I'm going to put my unique branding on it. And she puts it on it. It's the Nike tick from what I remember. And I was just like, They've got it in there, haven't they? They've smuggled it in somehow. I think it was the Nike tick. I don't think it was Adidas.
Was it not? I can't
remember seeing it.
I remember seeing it though, yeah.
But yeah, so just looking at some of the other winners as well, and a lot came out this year, didn't it? Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of controversy about that, and I feel like
It's a player's voice.
It got taken a bit too far. So basically, right, I think what happened is the developers of Black Myth came over to America because they got announced that they may win an award.
Right.
They thought they were going to win the Game of the Year award.
Right.
And it's gone to Astrobot, obviously, right? So I think what's happened is they've gone back to China and then they've made a joke saying, well, why did we go over at all? It was pointless. And I feel like that's just a classic joke, right? It's just like, well, it was a waste of time going over there. We didn't get anything, right? Just a normal joke. The internet's gone wild on that. They're saying, oh, like China's come over and they're insulted that they've made this game, blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, it's probably just a joke. So I thought that was pretty funny.
That wouldn't shock me if it wasn't a joke, I guess, at the same time, though. So, yeah, another interesting one. The role-playing game.
The role-playing game?
Yeah, the winner. Do you know who it was? Can you remember, I should say?
What, like role-playing game of the year?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
Metaphor. I can never say it. Metaphor Fantasio.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me seeing what got announced. Or
it beat Rebirth.
Yes, because Rebirth was shit.
Rebirth was... I mean, I don't think that's a fair really thing to say.
That's definitely not a fair thing to say.
Because Rebirth wasn't the same game, but it was still really good.
Yeah, I'll take back my statement slightly.
But then, that being said...
I don't think Rebirth is worthy of winning awards, is what I'll say.
Well, it did win one, didn't it? It won the music, the score soundtrack.
100%
but
worth it.
Because the
Final Fantasy music's incredible.
7 soundtrack is just... I mean, it's not even new, it's the same thing. They've just revamped it,
essentially. Made it more pumped up.
But I'm quite glad they won it. They won art direction as well.
That's fair, yeah. I agreed with a lot of things, except Game of the Year.
Astropunk. I was reading Cyberpunk down the side for some reason, just mixed them together. Most anticipated game, obviously the one and
GTA
only GTA 6. What else could it be?
I know exactly.
When was the release date for that again? 2026, I think.
No, it's 25.
That's next year.
I'm pretty sure it's this year. Yeah, this year.
Don't say that. It's not this year yet.
Yeah, I know, that's true. We're coming close.
Yeah, best adaptation. So I didn't realise this was an award until I seen it. Best adaptation, so like into a film or a series.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout. Did you watch the Fallout series?
I did watch the Fallout series. I thought it was brilliant.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a great show.
I was a bit hesitant at first because I thought, the problem with those kind of games is that they're very player involved. It's your character you make. You're who you take through this. And you get to make your decisions.
I thought what made the Fallout TV show incredible was the set design and the overall vibe that they portrayed through the series. It's like they pulled Fallout the game, all the silliness and ridiculousness of what Fallout is, and the brutality of it, and they put it into a TV show. And I thought it was great.
I think they did a really good job.
Really, really good job.
I thought the acting was really good as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to the next series.
Yeah, again, I can see the rest of them on here.
The rest of them?
Yes.
Well, the old years.
You can just they've lined them all up.
There was I wanted to talk about what was announced. There was a lot of announcements.
Yes, now.
A fuck ton of announcements. So obviously we've talked about Naughty Dogs already.
Yeah. Let's move on to the...
There was a Ninja Gaiden game that got announced. Did you see that?
No, so I'm a bit behind, I should say.
Yeah, you've got a lot of... I told you to watch the entire show. It's well worth watching.
We were saying before the podcast, a few things have happened to me, and I've had to sort them out. But I've cleared it all, and I'm catching up slowly.
But yeah, there's a Ninja Gaiden game that was announced. It's 2D, and it was made by the developers that made Blasphemous. We played a little bit of it before.
Okay.
Like their pixel art is fucking awesome, and they're just hyped up game players, which have turned developers essentially. So I'm looking forward to it. Looks super fast paced. Looks really difficult. Like it looks like a lot of fun.
That's what Ninja Gaiden's known for, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So and Blasphemous was amazing with their boss designs and things like that. So I'm looking forward.
I tell you what makes me laugh about Ninja Gaiden, and they do this in Devil May Cry as well. So you can play it on the hardest difficulty. It's extremely hard, and like you're fighting a boss, you'll die 50 times, and you'll beat him, and you're like sweating, you're crying because it's taking so long, and then your character's just like too easy, and I'm like, no, it wasn't. It's like way different.
My hands are bleeding.
And then like what are they like? You think Dante would go jackpot, and I'm like, no, there's no jackpot. He won the lowest award going on that run.
I am sweating on
and
my chair.
I can't think it's Ryu. I think it is in Ninja Gaiden. We'll do something cool, like to finish the boss off, and I'm like, couldn't do that in the actual fight. So
yeah, looking forward to that. I think that looks cool.
I know The Witcher.
The Witcher got announced, The Witcher 4 with Ciri as your main playing character, I guess. There's been a lot of controversy about that. Have you seen that?
Like the design choice. As
a lot of people saying the design choice or like her voice. They've changed voice actress.
Yeah.
So,
but then I don't necessarily disagree with that direction because
I don't care either way, to be honest.
I think it depends on what they're going for, because so they did it in Prince of Persia. Do you remember that? You had the first prince, and then the second prince was a lot deeper and rough because he'd been through a lot, so it kind of made sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's obviously a Witcher, and I'm not sure what's going on because she wasn't a Witcher in the third one.
She wasn't, no.
And now she is all of a sudden.
But like, I'm sure something happened midway through the game that pointed you towards her becoming a Witcher.
Well, no. So depending on the ending you got, she could become a Witcher. Like, you say Witcher, you see the thing is, it's like there's a job, the profession, Witcher, and then there's the actual person or like a creature, I guess you call it, that is a Witcher.
Yeah.
She's not like
but
Geralt from what I'm aware.
If you watch the trailer for the new The Witcher, you're hearing someone recite certain things of that ritual.
Yeah, so again, that's what I was going to kind of mention. So I don't know what's happened or what's happening.
It's probably going to be in the game. They'll explain it all anyway. So I thought it looks cool. The fight and stuff looks sick.
The eye effect as well looks really cool.
Yeah.
And they did that with the Witcher TV series, like really well.
I dropped that.
I watched the first series, and then I think it was the second one. Sort of just started going away from the books.
I heard bad things about it, so I dropped it.
Yeah, well, I've not watched it for a while, but some of the effects in that were pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's right. I was just going to move on, essentially.
So I can't think of what else there was off the top of my head
now. Slay the Spire 2 got a new gameplay trailer. I don't know if you played Slay the Spire.
I've not played it, but I did hear it.
Awesome game. I love Slay the Spire so much. I've been putting a lot of hours into that over the last few weeks. I actually finished it the other day.
Yeah?
It's the first time I finished it through.
Let's just pause here for a moment.
Chris finished a game.
You finished a game?
I know.
One of the things I was going to mention today was I wanted to talk about the games that you'd actually finished compared to the games you failed to finish.
I could probably list them.
What, the ones you finished?
Yeah, I would have to think about it, but maybe I could bring that forward.
That you mentioned outside of the podcast today was Mass Effect, and I thought he managed to finish all three of them.
Damn straight I finished Mass Effect.
As much as they are amazing games, for you to sit there and do that is an achievement. That's more of what I was thinking.
I'm going back to Slay the Spire.
Carry on.
100% you should play this game. It's a deck building roguelike. You love card games.
I do like card games.
And this is the peak of card games
and
video games. Yeah. Honestly, it's so good. I completed it with an awesome build that I created that was all based on shivs. So it was like I would pull out a card that would give me 4 shivs, and shivs do 2 damage or something, right?
Right.
But I had so many of them, and then I had modifiers to them that made them more powerful and things like that. So I had an entire shiv build, and it was just awesome because it was I'll put out a card and then I get 4 shivs. I stab him 4 times with the shivs. I do another card. I pull out 3 more shivs and I stab him 3 more times. It was just it was amazing. So yeah, so I finished that for the first time. I say I finished it. I did one run with it. The ending of that sort of points towards that you need to play as the other characters in order to get like a full ending. So I might go back and play that some more. So yeah, Slay the Spire 2, super hyped for that. Can't wait for that to come out because Slay the Spire is so good. Kiora got announced, which is like a pixel sandbox game by the creators of Core Keeper. Don't know if you've heard of any of that. It's very much PC focused, I think.
I think I might have heard of it through you.
Yeah.
The name rings a bell.
It looks like Terraria. I don't know if you played Terraria or not.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
It looks like a sort of Terraria-like. It looks really cool. Looking forward to that. Absolutely love Terraria.
I know.
Finished Terraria. And that's a fairly long game.
Just had to get that in there. Though,
Yeah, get that in there.
He does.
I finished The Witcher 3 as well because we talked about that.
Did you?
That one. Yeah.
I remember you playing The Witcher 3. I remember you abandoning The Witcher 3, which means you picked it back up again at some point.
Yeah, I did, and finished it. I restarted The Witcher 3 maybe 5 times.
I remember I'd go through the door and you'd just be sat at the PC playing it. I was like, he's been playing that a while. He's going to drop it soon.
Yeah, I do get into a habit of dropping games a lot. Elden Ring Night Rain.
Yes, so this is
announced.
one I wanted to get your thoughts on because it's
Yeah.
Elden Ring, but it's not Elden Ring.
It's Elden Ring. What they've said about it is it's a whole new game. So it's not DLC. It looks like DLC, but it's not DLC. So it's a whole new disc, essentially, for your console pleb.
Yeah,
of
course. Console pleb.
It looks to me like a... what do you call it?
Fortnite.
A Fortnite-like.
Yeah.
Or a PUBG Battlegrounds game, where the ring comes in and maybe you got to fight all these people.
Forced into the middle to fight.
It also looks like a very much co-op focused type thing because I saw that there was 4 people in a team and things like that. That could still be Fortnite-like, but who knows? There was enemies and bosses from Elden Ring and enemies and bosses from Dark Souls. You can fly on a bird.
Yeah. So we watched the trailer as well. You can wall run all of a sudden.
You can climb walls. You seem to be a lot more athletic and you can jump about a lot more.
Something that made me think of. So you said Fortnite, and I don't know if that's right or not. But I felt like there was a Monster Hunter element to it. Weirdly, where you're in a team of 4 and you're all hunting one boss.
Well, I don't know if that's.
But that's
the
how
case.
it kind of looked from what I saw. And I was like, especially with there's a scene where he shoots something and pulls an enemy closer to him. Yeah. Almost like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
So I don't know what to expect from it, to be honest. It looks interesting. It's obviously multiplayer focused, whereas most of the game is somewhat single player focused.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So it looks interesting. I'll keep an eye on it, definitely. I love Elden Ring. Completed Elden Ring. So yeah, listen, all these games I've completed.
Have you completed Elden Ring though?
Yes.
All of it, including the DLC?
No, the DLC. Yeah.
There it is.
That doesn't count. You haven't even got the DLC. Have you completed Elden Ring?
Completed it way before you. I completed it before.
No, you haven't finished the DLC, so you haven't completed it.
I completed it before the DLC was a thing. So.
Yeah, but the DLC's out now, so you've no longer completed the game.
I do want to play the DLC.
It's very good. I recommend playing it.
I like Elden Ring. It's so open, and
it's huge.
Do I want more openness?
I know. I think we've massively talked about Elden Ring before.
Let's move on.
A new Virtua Fighter got announced.
Yes.
By the devs of Like a Dragon. So what you want to take from that, I don't know.
Have you ever played a Yakuza game?
Yes. Yeah.
I haven't.
I've never finished one, but I've played them.
But I see all the TikToks and memes where it's skipping a cutscene is my favourite one. Where it's I think he's threatening to kill someone, and then you skip it, and all of a sudden you're in a go-kart race, and you're just what on earth just happened?
That's very much Like a Dragon, and from that going forward, the older ones I think were a lot more serious.
I don't know.
Yeah, they were.
I've not played them.
They were. They first started coming out on the PS2, I think.
Was it a car game originally?
No.
I swear I used to have a car game called Yakuza where you had to do car missions on the PS2.
No, I don't know.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. But yeah, the older ones were very serious, and then they moved into the more jokey style after that, which I think has brought in more people. But yeah, Virtua Fighter 6, thought it looked fucking awesome. The trailer looks sick.
We were on about this before, Virtua Fighter probably needing a newer one, and it's good to see what
the detail of the background in it looks awesome. So it's obviously a 3D fighter, which is more focused on realistic fighting styles, right?
Like Tekken was originally.
Was it though? It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was. They had electric wind god fists and shit going on. And
not in the very first one.
Yeah, they still had electric punches and shit.
Oh, that's just the effect when it hits.
And what was it, Ogre and fucking... It wasn't realistic.
Well, in the very first one, it was just...
Heihachi, that's true.
Heihachi was the final boss.
Yeah,
and then in the second one, it was Devil,
Yeah. But I've never seen Tekken as a realistic fighter. Virtua Fighter very much more realistic.
Is any fighter realistic in that sense?
But what I found interesting about the Virtua Fighter trailer, the detail on the backgrounds looks incredible, and it looks like you can just freely move around the stage, and it's not just like a ring, Whereas Virtua Fighter, I was looking at it, and I was like, the old Virtua Fighters, you're in a ring, or you're on like a pedestal, aren't you? And you got to fight, and you can kick them out of the pedestal and stuff like that. But this one, it doesn't have any of that. It's literally just like a full street in the background, and they're like punching people through boxes and stuff like that.
Through boxes?
Yeah. So there's lots of like, the classic sort of fighter, you kick them through like a fruit stand or whatever, So it had that, and I was thinking, if it's coming from the devs of Like a Dragon Yakuza, they're very much focused on streets and like towns and cities. Wouldn't it be so sick if Virtua Fighter was just like, you're in this town, you can take this fight anywhere. It's not just like you're in this ring, we can you can like go down this alleyway and then there'll be other things, or you can go down this alleyway and there'll be other things that you can interact with. And I thought that idea came in my head, and I was like, that could be
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do wonder though if it's going to be too much like you've not played the Naruto games, have you? Like that fighting style, like the Dragon Ball Z one. Dragon Ball Z is a bit more,
definitely not,
because
like
it's more like that's flying and things like that.
But
like
they're called arena fighters, I think.
Yeah, if it's more like that style.
No, but it's definitely not like that. From what I saw, like it was very much close combat, realistic fighting, but with ultra detailed backgrounds. I thought it looked great.
Virtua Fighter is one of those series I never really I played. An actual arcade.
Like I've played, but never really got into them. So it's because I feel like they're a bit old now, so it's so hard. Even the new remastery version that came out, 5, still looks like shit.
Yeah.
So looking forward to 6 coming out. That should be fun. 2 other games. There was Project Century, which is also being made by the Like a Dragon devs. So they brought 2 games. They're busy. Yeah, so apparently they're super busy. Project Century looks really weird. It looks like Yakuza, but it's in like what do you call it? Feudal Japan time.
Oh.
So it was like,
I do like feudal Japan.
Seems interesting. Like they didn't really announce much, but looks interesting. So
I think the big question you want to ask yourself there is, have they got that guy from Ubisoft doing the cultural background checks or whatever it is?
yeah. Get the hip hop coming in when they start fighting.
Yeah. Because that's so feudal Japan, isn't it? Hip hop, bit of NWA going right.
I thought that looked cool. I don't know if you've seen that trailer or not yet.
I've not seen it. No.
You should check it out. It looks fun. And then the last one I got down here of note is I'm going to pronounce this completely incorrectly. Oni Musha, Way of the Sword.
Is that a remake?
I don't know.
There's a game.
Oni Musha.
I'm going to have to look at it.
So it's made by Capcom, and it looks like a sort of brutal third-person sword fighting thing. Yeah, that's exactly
a series. It. Yeah, I have seen the name before.
Okay. So I don't know anything about this.
Doesn't come out next year, it comes out the year after.
Yeah.
The last one they did was a VR game, which came out this year actually.
Oh really?
The Shadow Team.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow,
I have seen
PS2.
it. I've seen it in like
wow.
I don't know if it's the same gameplay, but that cover makes me think of Dynasty Warriors for some reason.
Yeah, it does look like Dynasty Warriors, doesn't it?
So
yeah, I don't know what to expect from that. But the trailer, it looked so brutal. There was like so much blood. There was like cutting off of body parts and all sorts. Like it looks sick.
We do love to cut things up.
And it's made by Capcom, so I thought that was a fun little thing that's coming out.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's the main ones. Which when I was watching it, I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I can see why they're doing it the year after. They got Monster Hunter next year, haven't they? Capcom.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So that's
Is it March or is it February?
I think it's February.
February. Are we still meeting up to play through that?
You mean the week off? Damn straight.
The week off? I was expecting like 3 days, not a full week.
3 days? You may as well take the week.
What days does it come out? I thought it came out on like a Thursday.
I will have to check. I know it comes out in February. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm still up for that. So yeah, there was a lot announced.
28th of February.
28th.
And now you're going to ask me what day that is, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I have to try and find the calendar option.
It's literally there.
Oh yeah.
Use the calendar. There's like literally a giant date right in front of you.
What day did I say? The 28th. Well, it comes out on a Friday.
That's a Friday. So there we go. That's why I thought it was like 3 days because we were just going to play over the weekend.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not with the week, but I'll probably take the Monday off as well to recover by playing more of it.
That's probably fair. But yeah, we'll play through that. But yeah, there was like a load of announcements. The entire show I thought was fantastic. Again, Sven's speech was like godly. I'm so glad that you made that comment. Definitely needs to be said, considering there's so many shit games coming out lately.
Don't be like that to Ubisoft.
I'm gonna be like that to Ubisoft. So like, I completely forgot. Sony made another boo-boo.
You do this at the end of every episode.
I know, I'm so sorry.
We gotta talk about something, and I'm like, well, we've got a few minutes, so can you squeeze it in? What have they done now? This is the Concord 2 joke someone made before.
Let me try and get it out.
Sony made a boo-boo. The thing is, though, their boo-boos cost millions, but that's nothing at this stage, is it?
See, I can't even find it. Right, okay. So essentially, that's what it was. It was Horizon Zero Dawn Lego. Have you heard of it?
No, I didn't realise it.
I never heard of it either. It was made by the devs of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right.
So, one big fucking company making this game.
A Lego set.
Making a fucking Lego game. So, again, Sony have put hundreds of millions of dollars into this game.
Oh, sorry.
For absolutely no one to play it.
Do you mean like a Lego video game?
Lego video game.
Actual Lego.
Yeah, Lego video game.
Isn't that a bit of a
Horizon,
change?
like the old Lego games of the like PS2, 360, whatever. Those games.
I've seen.
Not made by those devs though, because they went under. Made by the devs that made Horizon Zero Dawn. So all of these big names gone into this Lego game. They didn't do any sort of advertisement on it again. They've got thousands of people developing this game. So hundreds of millions of dollars going into this game yet again for less players to play it than Concord. So a huge miss by Sony again. Like fucking hell.
They've really gone under, the Lego developers. They're still doing the Star Wars ones, aren't they?
No, right, okay. So they were made by, what do they call it? Something Tales?
Traveller's Tales.
Traveller's Tales, yeah.
They went under years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, so like they're no longer making games, obviously, anymore.
But did they not go down before some of the Star Wars games?
No, I don't know. I haven't played a massive amount of them. Like,
because have you played any of them?
I have played a few of them. I thought they were good. They were good.
The
fun.
Lego video games.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised to hear you say that. If I'm honest with you.
No, I thought they were good. Like they also made the Hobbit one as well, didn't they? And I thought that was like shit.
Did they make a Hobbit one?
They
I don't
made a
remember
Hobbit
that.
one. Yeah.
Do you know what? This is probably going to be the hardest series to find, isn't it?
There it is. Let's not go into it because there's loads of them.
I think 2022 was the last one they made.
Who made that then? What was that? The Star Wars one?
Oh no, it was Traveller's Tales.
So yeah, there we go. They're no longer around anymore. So the people that love the Lego games, got advertised this Horizon Zero Dawn one. Huge IP, obviously, Horizon Zero Dawn for Sony, and it's just like they've put no advertisement out really. No one's played it, and it feels like it's another failed game that Sony's released. and it's just going to go and cancel again.
Are they? I don't think they've gone under. Traveller's Tales.
Have they not? What have they made?
It says...
They're still going,
I can't read it from all this nonsense and jargon. It doesn't say it's defunct or anything like that on this page. Prove me wrong, obviously, please, so that I know that I've... Because I thought they went under ages ago.
I thought they went under ages ago.
What did they make? That's going to bug me now.
Right, okay, so I've got the Steam information on Horizon Adventure, right?
Crash Bandicoot 2001, 2004.
So, Lego Horizon Adventures. Guess how many people are playing the game right now?
Right now?
Right now.
5.
20.
I wasn't far off, weirdly.
Exactly, right? 20. And you got to think hundreds of millions of dollars has gone into this, and 20 people are playing it.
Yeah, but the biggest thing for me is, why have they chosen Horizon?
Exactly.
So they did it with Indiana Jones. They did it with Star Wars too. They're with George Lucas, weirdly, actually, as well. But they're massive franchises. Horizon, is probably not as well known as those ones. I'm trying to think what else they did.
All-time peak on Steam that have played this game.
Is it in thousands? Just tell me that.
I'm not going to say.
Well,
Give a guess.
I want to say 900.
900? 602 people have played this game on Steam. God. Hundreds of millions of dollars. 602 people playing it.
That's just painful.
It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. I don't know what Sony are doing or
Do you think...
It's wild.
Do you think, and I don't mean this in the harsh way at all, that it's almost like a quick cash grab?
It feels that way,
because
right?
It cannot be, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure it takes time to make this kind of game, but it cannot take the same amount of time to make that game as it would the original Horizon.
So I saw a video that were talking about how many people were involved in making this game. The credits of this game go on for fucking ages. Loads of people are involved in developing this game. So it's clearly they're paying a lot of people to make this. And 602 people of all-time max played it.
The thing is, though, okay, they'll do that one, which
27 people in a 24-hour peak.
I bet they're doing that one, right? I presume that's the first game. They'll do the second one.
Yeah, they're going to release all of them, right?
Yeah, but then what they'll do is, and they did this, and I think this is a bit of a con sometimes, is that we got the first one, we got the second, what should we do? Put both games together and just make it one game.
And
they did that with Star Wars. They've done it with the original trilogy, the sequel trilogy, the new, and then they put them all together. And you're like,
here's more pain. This game has 2 DLCs, right?
It has DLCs.
A pre-purchase entitlement DLC. Don't know what that gives you, and an upgrade to the digital deluxe edition.
So the pre-purchase one is. Say that again. Pre-purchase
entitlement.
So you're basically just buying what you would have got if you pre-ordered the game.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But again, why does a game like this need a digital deluxe edition?
Why?
Just fuck off. Give me the game. Don't give me this fucking upgrade bullshit.
That isn't even them making a boo-boo. That's them going, the game isn't doing very well. Just make a DLC or something.
Absolutely.
And it's just
ridiculous.
why?
Honestly ridiculous.
It's an interesting one. Why they've done that.
The upgrade to the digital deluxe edition has 1 review.
Is it 1 star by chance?
Let me have a quick look. So this edition includes the Lego Horizon Adventures game, roller coaster customization.
What?
Don't know. Bannock armor outfit.
Oh, that's a type of armor.
6 armor outfits, essentially.
So it's almost like standard DLC, but with a roller coaster.
£70.
What, for the whole thing?
For the deluxe edition. £70 for this fucking shit Lego game that they've... Right, so comparing that, what's the... Don't play the trailer. So it's 60 quid. The game's 60 quid, £70 for the digital deluxe. That gives you what?
I can tell you now.
Fuck all.
I know why no one's playing it.
Yeah, right? All the reviews are mixed.
Mixed? I'm surprised they're just not negative.
Mixed are just most people are saying that it's negative, I guess. There's 183 reviews. Crazy.
That's That's just such a weird...
It's wild. It's wild. Like, again, Sony just dropping the ball massively. I don't understand, like... Again, coming back to Sven's talk, people are just going after profits. They don't give a fuck about any game they're releasing. They just don't care anymore. They're just releasing bullshit.
I agree with you, but I do question as well where that should be aimed. Because I don't think it's fair to say to developers, you're not putting heart into your game.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that people on the high end of this company are choosing thousands of developers of a studio to make something that they do not give a fuck about.
But they're probably not even gamers.
Yeah, like,
they're people that are just business people.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically my point. It's like people that are at the top making these decisions don't care about the game and they just want to hit sales targets. That's it.
Yeah, they're interested in profits.
And thankfully, everyone isn't buying into their bullshit. Because clearly this game isn't doing well. Concord didn't do well. It's just like, when are you going to listen to my man Sven? And hopefully make some changes about what the fuck you're releasing and concentrating on as like Sony as a brand for video games, you know? Shocking.
Again, I question where in that level Sony's involved. And don't get me wrong, they're involved. But like these different individual companies or whatever have their own people in charge and make their own decisions still. It's not like Sony are saying you need to do this. They probably are. They're asking you want this result.
I totally get that. But it's again the people which are at the top, which aren't gamers, which are making these like business decisions to Sony's going to offer us this IP for us to quickly pop out this Lego game for Horizons. Let's just quickly do this and then move on to the next game.
How many people jump on bandwagons as well with games?
Yeah.
Like, who did zombies first? Like games, was it Call of Duty?
Game? No, like Resident Evil.
No, I'm not thinking Resident Evil. Like one of them did zombies. Then all of a sudden there was like a survival zombie game that it wasn't Resident Evil. It was Dead Island. Then there was like Left 4 Dead. Then there was the one in the mall. And there were just like a lot at one point. It was like people have just gone, it's selling, so make one.
Yeah.
Rather than make a game you like, and they've done it with a few things.
Yeah, it's always been the case, I guess. It's just it feels so much more forced now. It's frustrating. We're over time, so
we are over time.
We need to cut this out.
Whose fault is that, Chris?
I'm passionate about video games. Okay,
you are passionate about that. You brought up a new topic at the end. Essentially,
I know. I just thought it was hilarious.
We'll have to leave it there, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. See you next week, I guess.
See you next week. Kudos, Sven.
Merry Christmas if you celebrate. We will return. I don't know.
We will return.
I don't know when we're going to release the next episode. I don't think we're going to release it on Christmas Day though.
Before the New Year.
Before the New Year. Definitely. There's not going to be a massive gap or anything like that. But yeah.
Why hearing Christmas special?
Christmas special.
See you later.